Figure it out.
Hello, this is Adam Koralik with Figure It Out Productions. The following video is part of our Quick Shoot series.
Hey guys, it's Adam here, and check it out. Recently I went from my home here in Chicago to another place. I got on the big steel bird here and I went to London. But no, I did not stay in London, as you can see here from the perspective of my plane. I got off and got a car, and here it is. Now, side note, this was kind of funny. Now, the British do not really drive automatic. They drive stick. As an American, I can't drive anything other than automatic. So they stuck me in this extremely big $40,000 BMW. No, I did not pay anywhere near what it's worth. They upgraded me basically for free because they kind of screwed up. And as you can see, you drive on the other side of the road and the other side of the car, which is also kind of common knowledge. But anyway, I didn't die. Yay! And I managed to drive all the way to here. This is Cardiff, Wales. There was that famous castle that it's famous for. And like any good American, the first thing I did is I went into a Starbucks and shot some cheesy footage. And then I met up with my friend Raymond, who you guys have heard me talk about. We went here. This is Next Level Games in Pontypridd, which is nearby Cardiff. Absolutely phenomenal game store. I will talk about this in another video just because I don't want to detract from this one too much, but I had a wonderful time at that store. I just want to talk about all the cool stuff that you can see in this store. On the left, if you see him there in the green, that's actually my buddy Raymond, who I've been talking about for years, and he arranged to have us come here. Now, the cool thing about this store, other than the obvious that it's a really cool retro store, is that it's actually not open on Sundays. The guys in the store apparently watch my channel. Shout out to you guys. Of course, shout out to you. It's a whole video about your store. You guys are the best. Yeah, they actually watched this channel, and they were happy to open the store just because I was coming by. And they sell luxury American candy. I think that's hilarious. But yeah, you can see all the cool stuff they have outside there, including there was like an Amiga Cd32 and all that. And you know, there's a white Gamecube, which you'll see again in a bit. Now, I shot some footage of Xbox 360 stuff, which unfortunately can't make much use out of, but Sega Saturn. Holy shit, the Sega Saturn. That was one of my big targets when I was over in the UK. I really wanted to get a lot of cool, exclusive Sega Saturn stuff. And these guys, they definitely helped me track some of that down. Now, they have the obvious, you know, like your PS3 and your PS2. PS3 is region-free, by the way, so never worry. As for PS2, you can play its imports, but it's a little bit more difficult. I want to say this before I forget. Their Facebook page is in the description. Go check them out. The Doctor Who game really caught my eye. Shout out to Aaron. PS2, man, the PAL cases are such a win and a loss. You know, they use blue plastic on the cases, which I think is really cool. You know, it matches the font of the PS2. But if you look at the side, you can see on the end labels there's no real artwork. And so it's really hard to find anything specific. I mean, granted, it's just white background and black text. It should be easy, but it's not. You get lost in a sea of games and you don't know what you're looking at. Kind of like how hard it is to kind of look at that when it's not in alphabetical order with the PS1 games, which also use very funky cases. I should have picked some of those up, but I didn't look into it. Now, that's Chris, hell of a nice guy, works there. That's the thing. I'm going to go off on here for a second, but the two guys who run this store is Chris and Dave, and both incredibly friendly guys, awesome dudes. There's your one glimpse of Dave. They said, quote, "We are not Toy Rat." You know, they didn't want to be on camera. They were very friendly, obviously very encouraging the video, but I think it was Dave who said something to the effect of like, "I have a face for radio," which is not true. They're both very handsome gentlemen. You should have been in the video, but it's fine. You didn't want to. Now, I know I glossed over it there, but you sell a lot of cool Atari Lynx stuff and some Master System stuff and Mega Drive stuff, PAL, Dreamcast. Onto the Master System here, though. The console with the white boxes that we're looking at is basically Sega's equivalent of the NES. It was not popular in North America, but insanely popular in Europe, possibly more so than the NES. And there's so many games that came out for it that we never got in North America. It's insane. I was gonna get more of them, but I just didn't have the space, man. I just didn't think to look for it. Original Xbox, there's a lot of cool exclusives over there that I was keeping an eye out for. GameCube, slightly different box art. Not that many exclusives, oddly. The Wii, the DS. The DS had bigger cases, which is kind of cool. Super Nintendo, NES, NES can become region-free if you remove the 10 NES chip. The only difference on the PAL version is that it says PAL version. The Terminator 2 clone. I was very surprised to see that. Shout out to MN12Bird for being the only person that I'm aware of that ever made a video about one of those. But yeah, Super Nintendo, they had the Super Famicom body design, which is really cool. I've always been jealous of that. And if you're in the retro community, you know that that's a popular console right now. And not once, I mean, maybe it was like 4 times I was in this store, because I was in there for like 4 hours just hanging out. People just kept coming in and being like, I need a Super Nintendo. Do you have them? You know, it's the one thing that like everybody really wants. Back there was a box for an Amiga Cd32. Hope you saw that. That's a really cool console that only came out really in the UK. It did come out in Canada briefly, but barely at all. So that was something I was kind of keeping an eye out for, was games for that. Over there's the white Gamecube, very briefly, a silver PS2 right there. That's actually a black HD DVD drive. I know the box is white, but the thing was black. They actually tried to give it to me for free. I was like, I just don't have space for it. It was a blue PS2. More PlayStation stuff. There again, this is the Amiga CD32 back there with some games and stuff. Some PS2 games, Game Boy Color. It's just, you know, ZX Spectrum there, Steel Battalion for the Xbox, Game Gear case. So that's basically it. I want to thank you guys, of course, for watching. And if you're ever in the area, or if you live in the area, you definitely got to check out the store. It's absolutely awesome. And before we go, on the left you have Matt, and on the right, of course, you have...
And don't forget to say I'm Raymond.
Yeah, Raymond.